Hello again, everybody, and welcome once again to another season of Penn's Pulse, presented by S&T Bank. I'm Paul Steigerwald. Pittsburgh Penguins ownership and management does everything in its power to create a first-class environment conducive to the success of the coaches and players. Now that we're back to a full 82-game schedule, the Penguins will travel more than 33,000 miles this season and play at least one road game against each of the other 31 NHL teams. The precise planning, communication, and execution required to make the players feel at home on the road begins long before a puck is dropped. Here's an inside look at how the Penguins fly.
Card games get pretty loud, and usually I don't last that long on the plane. I'm out cold pretty quick.
I have to bring my iPad on every trip no matter what. It was my gaming system, kind of came back on that now.
Obviously, the Penguins like to dress for success, so we had to ask, who has the best style on the road?
I gotta go with Tanger. Yeah, Tanger's pretty good. I wouldn't tell him that, but.
Probably Letang, hurts to say, but he'll be all about it now.
Some people have fashion and things they like, so it's not that I try, it's just.
We can't give it to Tanger. So I'm saying Kasperi Kapanen. He's a little bit out there. He's got some style that a lot of people are kind of, like and don't like. It's kind of polarizing, so it makes it fun.
It's kind of like if you wear the blue or gray, you stand out now if you're not wearing the bright one. But yeah, Cappy's got some good ones for sure.
With the Penguins opening the 21-22 season with a trip to the Sunshine State, it got us thinking, how does an NHL team successfully travel city to city?
My name is Jim Britt. I am the Executive Director of the Pittsburgh Penguins Foundation and have been since early 2020. In my prior role, I was the Director of Team Operations, which I held from roughly 2012, just prior to the work stoppage, through 2020. The Director of Team Operations coordinate all of the logistics off ice. So team travel arrangements, immigration, scheduling for ice time in Pittsburgh and when traveling, charter flights, hotels, ticket needs. There's a bit of a player concierge service involved with that as well, making sure the players and their families are comfortable here in Pittsburgh, helping them get relocated, making sure that the team is settled wherever they may be.
But it wasn't until the early 2000s that the Penguins had experienced the luxuries of flying privately. The organization had decided it was about time to step away from traveling commercially.
After 9/11, it really became a significant security factor. And at this point now, for the ability to depart immediately after a game on a private flight and be in your bed that night, wake up in the city that you'll be playing or practicing in the next day, it's a competitive advantage.
After Britt made the transition to his new role within the organization, the team welcomed former manager of communications, Jason Seidling, as the new director of team operations. Jason is entering his third season in the position, and he's learned quickly about the value of planning ahead.
So everything we do is planned out well in advance. I mean, some of these things months in advance. So schedule typically comes out late June to early July. So as soon as that happens, you get right on the flights. So all the flights are set by the middle of July. And the next thing you set up is you set up the hotels. Mid-August, you get all 41 road games set.
And then as the season is going along, you're working into details like buses. At a hotel, you're providing 3 or 4 meals throughout the day for the players. So making sure all those banquet events are set, menus are set in advance. Those are more fluid as the schedule goes on.
Having worked in the industry and traveled with the team for more than a decade, Jason knows better than anybody that not everything always goes as planned, and to expect the unexpected.
No matter how hard you try to plan everything out minute by minute, you are going to have things that come up.
For us to be able to make those arrangements and accommodations, I always looked at that as, that was our game time. That was time to get down, get ready, show what we're worth. So I joke with Jason Seidling, who's in the role now, that that first year I probably got 3 years of experience.
With adding the COVID in that year, it absolutely felt that way. I felt like a seasoned veteran once we came back for that bubble. Everybody had questions. We had no answers to. I couldn't just go to Jim and ask, player wants to go back to Europe, no flights. There was no playbook for it.
Some of the stories are pretty well documented, like Jarome Iginla. Getting close to the deadline, there was a lot of talk that Jarome may move. They reported during the game that the Bruins had acquired Jarome. I was watching the game, I had gone to bed. I got a call an hour or two later from our assistant general manager, Jason Botterill. And he woke me up, it was around midnight, maybe 1 a.m., and he said, "Hey Jim, we just traded for Jarome Iginla." I said, No, Bots, he went to the Bruins. I saw it on the game. And he kind of paused, let me catch my breath. He said, Jim, can you hear me? And I said, yeah, Bots. He said, we just traded for Jerome McGinley.
When Jerome will be here really depends on the immigration process. Might take a couple days, and that's what happens with Canada to U.S. player.
Here we had a Saturday afternoon game coming up, so there was a frantic push to get his immigration paperwork done.
Jerome will not be on our 23-man roster until the immigration process is approved.
His equipment got caught in customs, so I remember having some conversations with FedEx, our corporate partner, and they moved mountains to get it done for us. They got us his gear in time. We ended up getting Jerome in late on Friday night. He played in that Saturday afternoon game, and it was incredible.
And at right wing, please welcome to Pittsburgh, Jerome McGinley. Britt was great at foreseeing most challenges headed his way, but no one could have possibly anticipated what was coming next.
One of the extreme conditions for us was the horrific bombing in Boston around the Boston Marathon. The bombing happened on Monday on Patriots Day. We were scheduled to play the Bruins, I believe it was on Friday evening. So we're right outside Boston Commons in our hotel. When the suspect was captured, there was a loud celebration and a gathering. I will always remember that national anthem, several first responders on the ice, and everyone in the building was standing and singing. You know, I get chills thinking about it now, but what a special day.
Not everybody is fortunate to have the person that was previously in the role be so close. I can never thank him enough.
We have such an incredible team of people behind the team, behind the scenes, who take so much pride in their job. We want to worry about all of those details so that they can worry about hockey. And if we've done it well, then the players are able to shine, and that's how it should be.